Good morning, Isla, Haria, Jay, Lexi, Cole. Lovely to have you joining us for maths. Zara, Sadia. Amy, I said good morning to you, but I'll say it again just in case you didn't hear me. Good morning, Zara, Sadia, Livy. Lovely to have you with us this morning. Good morning, Summer. I need a magnifying glass. I don't know about these glasses. Just a minute to go, and then we'll start our maths lesson. Good morning, Callum Dale. Nice to have you with us. Okay, so 11:15, time to start our maths lesson. I don't know how I follow that remarkable English lesson, but I do. And as you can see by the screen today, that we are going to multiply numbers by 10, 100 and 1000. And it is a revisit to work we've done previously with whole numbers, but today we're going to look at how we also multiply decimals by 10, 100 and 1000. You will today, for this lesson, need a pen and pencil and some paper. So if you can grab that quickly whilst we're waiting to see who else joins us, that would really be helpful. Right, hopefully you have got your pencils, pens and paper because you will need them later. And it's maths, so I'm going to start you off with a little maths brain teaser to get your maths brain switched on. Because I don't know about you, but I'm still singing MC Grammar's antonym song. So here goes. Blake counts in steps of 300, starting at 1,200. What is the first number higher than 2,500 he will count? I'll say that again for you. Blake counts in steps of 300, starting at 1,200. What is the first number higher than 2,500 he will count? Let me know. And don't be fooled into starting to counting on from 2,500 in steps of 300. That won't work. Try again. You've done exactly what I said not to do. It's not that easy, Declan. Hello and welcome. So pleased that you've managed to comment today. How lovely to have you with us. Oh, Amy, you are fastest finger today. I'll give you a few more seconds to actually see if you can work it out. Remember to start counting from 1,200, not from 2,500. That's right, Declan. Well done. Thank you for going back and doing that again. Thirty more seconds, see if we can get any names. Sadia, it has to be higher than 2,500. Okay, I'll give you all a clue as how to count. So you start at 1,200 and you add 300. Then you add 300 to that and so on. And then eventually the first number greater than 2,500 will be 2,700. Okay, that was just a little quick quiz to get your maths brain switched on. So today we're going to multiply by numbers, whole and decimal numbers by 10, 100 and 1,000. And as you can see, I now have the same emoji symbols as Miss Francois, listening and writing all comments. And remember to comment via, oh, I haven't got it on this screen, comment via the link, although most of you have it down to a fine art now and know how to do it. So today's learning outcomes, we need to be able to identify place value. You're going to about place value by the end of these live learning lessons. It is very, very important that we understand place value. We need to be able to read and write whole numbers and decimals, to know the rules for multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000, and to be able to accurately multiply by 10, 100 and 8,000. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to recap the rules first of all, because obviously they are what we need. So if you are multiplying times in by 10, you move one place value, one place or column to the left. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, oh no, right and left. I have a little trick. If you hold your hands up in front of you like that, close your fingers and then put your thumbs down, you'll see that your left hand actually makes the letter L facing the right direction. And that can remind you how to remember your left and right. But you're year 5, so I imagine you do, but we've also been away from school for a little while. So remember that. Hands together, thumbs down. If the L is facing the correct way as if you were writing it, you have found your left hand. Okay, and you know you are moving in a left direction. So if you are multiplying by 100, you move 2 place value or columns to the left. If you are multiplying by 1,000, you move the digits 3 place value or columns to the left. Okay, and it says do not forget to include the zeros to hold the place value. Zeros are always in our number system, always holding value. We don't always see them or write them, but in this case, we will have to remember that they move in to hold a place. So, and an important point, it is the same method whether we are multiplying by numbers, whole numbers or decimals. It is the same structure, the same method that we use. Now, some of you might say, oh, this is easy. All you do is if you multiply by 10, you just move the number and add a 0 to the number. You don't, because that might work when we're working with whole numbers. It's not a mathematical strategy, and you'll find that when we're working with decimals, if you just add a 0 to the end of the number, it will give you an incorrect answer. So always, always remember that we are moving place value. Right, so let's remind ourselves what a place value chart looks like. And I'd like you to draw one in your book. I have drawn one very quickly and not very tidily on my board already. So I just want books and just have it ready for when we are working together further on in the lesson. So quickly draw that in your book. It doesn't have to be tidy, but just make sure you can actually sort out and know your place value when we get to that point in the lesson. I'll give you a minute or so to draw that. Okay, we've just been told that some of you are experiencing difficulties in sound. So if you leave the lesson and then come back in, it might remedy the situation for you. Right, okay, so hopefully we all have a place value chart in our books. We will need one later. Now, when we are representing numbers in maths, we can represent them in different ways. So we're going to look at this number. Now, I've represented this number using counters to tell you what the value of this number is. So I would like you to tell me what number is shown on the place value chart. Can you send me your answer, please? Well done, Amy Lee. Thank you. I'm sorry, Amy E. Isla, well done. Summer, thank you. Sarah, Amy, thank you. Sadia, Solomon, thank you. Correct answers flooding in here. Lexi, Callum D, thank you. Amy Lee, Declan, oh, you're all getting this, well done. Yes, the answer is 468. And we know this because we've got 8 units, 6 tens, and 4 hundreds. And so sometimes you will see maths and numbers represented in counters, rods, bars, different ways. It's not always in numerical form. Okay, so what happens if we multiply this number by 10? What happens if we multiply 468 by 10? I am going to explain this to you so that, oh, I've gone on the slide too quickly. Right, okay, so what we will need to do is write 468 in our place value chart. And I'll step back a little bit. Okay, I have to apologise. We are experiencing a delay ourselves, so we're working with this morning. Technology. Right, so we are multiplying by 10. So the 0 tells us that we are moving one place value and that we will have a 0 in the units column. So we move our number one place value to the left, which is that way. I'll use my hands to check. Okay, so I've got 4. I've moved my numbers one place value to the left. And now the important thing that I need to remember is to bring in 0 for my placeholder. So now my number is 4,680. Where my 10 equals one place value to the left. So we can have a go now at so now perhaps you can have a go and see if you can tell me what will happen to 468 if I multiply it by 100. Thinking about 10 in 10 tells us we are moving one place value to the left. What will 100 with 2 zeros tell us? So I'll wait to see whose fastest finger first today. If we multiply 468 by 100. You've multiplied by 10, Declan. We're multiplying by 100. Well done, Sadia first, beating Isla, who came in second with that fast finger of hers. Amy, well done. You've even given me an explanation of what I have to do. I have to move 2 place value to the left. That's correct. Summer, well done. Callum. Zara, can you make sure that you have moved 2 place values, please? And you need to make sure that you start off with 468. Amy Lee, well done. Cole, Chloe, well done. Amazing work this morning, children. I'm starting you off nice and easy, by the way, just to get your maths brains worked up. Ooh, Aman, welcome to our live lesson. How lovely to see you today. Okay, so now let's have a look. What happened? Oh, what happens if we multiply this number by 1,000? So I'm expecting some quite quick responses to this one. So what will happen now if we multiply 468 by 1,000? Oh, fastest finger, Isla, back to your winning ways. Amy, well done. Declan, excellent work. Some budding mathematicians here. Lexi, well done. Summer, Amy Lee, Chloe, Nadia, oh, this is amazing. I'm really enjoying this, seeing all these correct answers streaming in. Right, so that's quite an easy start to get us into the flow of multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000. So now let's have a look. We'll go back to multiplying by 10 and we're going to work through some examples of multiplying by 10. Nice and easy, 34 multiplied by 10. We'll work on this together. Oh, don't know what I've done, but I will try it. Good job I've got Miss Francois here to help me along the way. Oh. These down. Oh, don't go too close with my board. I must remember. Okay, so nice and easy. 34 times 10. So I might just quickly write myself another value chart. I'm making sure that my decimal point has a square of its own. Okay, so 34 times 10. Nice and easy. 34 on our place value chart. I know I'm multiplying by 10, so I'm one place value to the left in that direction. I'm going to move along. And of course, I'm going to remember to bring in 0 as my placeholder. So 34 times 10 is equal to 340. We've got lots of right answers for that. Amy, Lexi, Aman, Summer, Amy Lee, Callum, D, Isla, Sadia. Well done. So I'm going to have to keep going in and out. I'm learning new things as I go along all of the way. And it would be that I haven't actually written our calculations down on a separate piece of paper. They're on the board. So we're going to have to keep flicking in and out. Okay, so now a decimal, 0.6 times 10. So 0 in my units column. Orange. Okay. Someone just said you can't see my orange colour, so I'll just change that. 0 decimal point 6. 8 times by 10. So the same rules apply as when we are working with whole numbers. So we are going to multiply by 10, which means we're going to move one place value to the left. So our 0 will move one place value. And our 6 will come across the decimal point and into our units column. So that gives us an answer of 0.6. Now we do not say 0.6. 0 is always there as a placeholder, but that's not how we say it. So our answer is 0.6 times 10 equals 6. So we don't need, remember, we don't need to write 0, 6. We just write 6 as a unit. You get lots of Isla, Callum, Lexi, Sadia, Aman, Summer, Amy. Excellent, well done. So I'm thinking that maybe we've got times 10 down to a fine art. So we'll look at maybe, oh no, I think maybe we will try with some slightly large, greater value numbers. So we've got 8,900 times 10. So I will write my place value chart whilst you can have a go. Let's see if you can answer before I get my place value chart up and running. Good morning, Alex. So 8,900 times 10. So I'm moving one place value to the left, less spinning that way on my board. So who's coming in with answers? Excellent, Amy, Declan, Anna, Lexi, Lady, Cole. I like that you're going back and checking your answers, Lexi. That's great to see. So if we move one place value to the left, we should end up with, oh, one place value. Do you know? Yes, one place value. Everyone should move over one place value. So I should have an answer of 89,900. Okay, so far this morning, I haven't put in a trick for you. Just be careful. You never know. Right, so 89 times 100. So we have 2 zeros. So 2 zeros equals 2 place value to the left. Okay, so we're going to have a go at 89 times 100. Amy, well done. Lexi, well done. Amy Lee. Amara, Ida, well done. Callum, well done. Summer, Chloe, well done. Some great mathematicians out there today. So if we move to place value, and 100 means 2 zeros, a 0 in our tens column and a 0 in our units column. We should have an answer of, well done, Harley. Nice to see you this morning. I know you were in Miss Francois' lesson, but nice to see you in maths. 8,900. Okay, so decimal. Same rules apply with a decimal as with a whole number. So 5 in my units column, my decimal point, 9 in my tenths column. Oh, 9 even. Oof, Obviously, my brain isn't that switched on. Maybe if I do a 7 in that column, you might get the correct answer. Right, just to let you know that I have dropped in a little, I'm not concentrating error, and I've made a mistake on one of the calculations that are on the board. Can anyone, fastest finger, tell me? I'll show you that it's up here. Can anyone, fastest finger, tell me what mistake I have made, seeing who's awake and checking my maths for me this morning? So 5.9 times 5.7. I'm still saying 9. I don't know why. 5.7. Lexi, Amar, Violet, Chloe, Sadia, Harley. I know the board is small, but I'm hoping that you'll send me in the maths. So I'll just get out of the way my deliberate mistake. My class knows that I need someone. Harris, well done. I put a 9 here when I should have actually had a 0 there. Excellent. I think 5 dojos for that, Harris. So that shouldn't be a 9, it should be 89,000. So well done. So moving back to this question, got lots of correct answers. So we move to place value. And our 7 will go across the decimal 1, 2. And we will put in 0 as a placeholder. And we have an answer of 570. So well done to you, great mathematicians this morning, keeping me on my toes. Okay, so a little trickier one now. We're looking at 0.03 times 100. So 0.03. Now the same rules apply. You will need to move 2 place value to the left because we're multiplying by 100. But let's see what answers you can come up with. Who can be our fastest finger? Oh, Amy, you are flying today, not only in English, but in maths as well. Excellent. Our first correct answer, followed by Summer. Well done. Declan, well done. Isla, well done. Amy Lee, Callum Dale, excellent. Aman, can you go back and check yours, please? Sadia, excellent. So we're moving two place values, so our zeros move 1, 2. My 0 moves 1, 2. And my 3 moves 1, 2, and becomes a unit. And I don't need to write those 2 zeros in my answer. So my answer is 3. So well done. I'm going to, we'll go on to this one. See if we can do our fastest finger. 678 times 1,000. It was Amy Lee. Oh, Amy E was fastest finger. Amy Lee was a correct answer. Amy E. Amy E fast again, followed by Lexi, followed by Sadia, followed by Amy Lee, Isla, Declan, Aman, Summer. Excellent. Brilliant maths skills this morning, year 5. Okay, so let's try this one. 0.065 times 1,000. You've been doing excellently well so far. Chloe and Callum, well done on the last question. I don't know what to say, Declan. I don't know how fast these children are working. Amy again. With the correct answer to that question. Amy Lee, check your answer. Declan, if it helps, you came second that time. Summer, well done. Callum, Dale, well done. Sadia, can you go back and check yours, please? Isla, well done. Harley, check your answer, please. So well done with our multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000. And I hope that you actually remember this, because I know when Miss Francois and myself sat down and talked about things that we would like to teach you, actually, this was one of the areas that when we did our testing that maybe you weren't so strong on, but you've shown me this morning that you're all really, really good at multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000. So excellent maths this morning, well done. So to do, you have roughly 20 minutes until lunchtime. There is a doodle activity for maths, which is multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000, just exactly what you've been doing. Don't forget you have to do 7 a day first, then lunch. And as you can see, it says I need a break, and you should take a break. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids, especially on hot days. Like the weather is getting better. And I know a lot of you are working so hard at home. So don't forget to take a break, have something to eat, and then you've got a doodle activity for antonyms. And then should you complete those, there is some topic work for you to carry on from yesterday. A nice little activity learning about Tudor monarchs and just making some notes ready for some work you're going to do next lesson. So thank you to all of you for joining me, and I hope that you have learned something and can apply your skills. And Declan, I look forward to you being fastest finger in our next lesson next Tuesday. So Remember live maths tomorrow, and try and have a rest of the weekend ready for our learning week next week. Thank you all again for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.